Happy new month here. We believe it is a happy new month over there today, first day of the month of August 2023. This is A.M Cafe live on OSBC TV, 113 on Star Times, 502 on Free TV. We're live on Facebook. Yes, welcome you on board. My name is Benga Famio. Welcome you to this moment of conversation on state of affairs in the country, in our states, sometimes even globally, as long as it has an effect on our living standard with efforts to improve our living conditions. There are jokes everywhere about children returning home at this point in time or for the long vacation. Oh yes, it is the turn of parents to face their responsibilities squarely. And these are the days we cannot push any work to teachers. How are you preparing for those powerful young men and women back home right now? But beyond the holiday will be the new session, which is educationally described as 2023/2024 academic year. Many things are happening on around us. We are experiencing hiking fees. The question is Osun immune to the increase in fees? What are the main education agenda of Governor Ademola Adeleke going forward? These and much more are concerned on A.M Cafe this morning, and with me in the house is the right person to speak on all of this, and that's the accounting officer of the ministry in charge of education in Osun State, the permanent secretary, Mr. Adekilekun Jimoh. Yes, I call him the how do I say it now? The tech or the techie PS. Mr. Adekilekun Jimoh, previously the permanent secretary of Ministry of Science and Innovation, Technology, something like MIST, Science,
Innovation, Science and
Technology. Thank you. But now Ministry of Science
and ICT.
And ICT. Yes, yes. You can say I'm not wrong to say the techie permanent secretary. And once again, congratulating you, sir, for your appointment. And well, it is the truth. Personally, I have the opinion that talking about appointment to offices, it's not a party thing. It's a huge responsibility. You've been a couple of weeks in office right now, sir. Yes. I'm so sure you met humongous tasks on ground. How has it been within your have you spent up to a month as the PS Ministry of Education? I wouldn't know. But within the limited time so far, how has it been, sir? How challenging, how tasking has it been?
Thank you very much. I spent 2 months now.
Oh, how time flies.
Well, we were sworn in 30th of May.
Okay, so, yes. And that's it. That's true. That's true.
And, the announcement came on the 29th May, sworn in on 30th May. And since then, and it was maybe posting from Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology to Ministry of Education came on 2nd of June.
All right.
Right.
It's okay. So, all right. For our action Governor Ademola Adeleke, who likes to pinpoint a particular goal and pursue it with all he's got, what can we say is his main education agenda for his administration?
Thank you very much. When the word agenda is an arrangement of intended programs that you want to do, which Mr. Governor has explicitly stated at the beginning of his administration. Immediately he was sworn in. He highlighted 5-point agenda. 5-point agenda.
5 points.
Yes. Okay. Of which education is one.
Oh, yes. That's right.
And with that, when you have an agenda, you integrate all those things that you want to achieve, or he integrated what he wanted to achieve into those into that agenda. And by that, there are a lot that was mentioned. Among those things that was mentioned, one is renovation of schools,
renovation of
school infrastructure. School infrastructures is disheartening.
A bit of situation analysis of the state of things on ground.
Yes.
Osun was privileged to have some wonderful mega structures a couple of years back. They are mega structures. Are they no longer mega structures?
They are mega structures indeed. In fact, world class. Yes, during Aregbe Shola's regime. But anything that you are, like for example, I'm a civil servant now. If I want to buy a car, I don't go for Toyota Corolla, I don't go for the Toyota Camry. Now I look up to go and buy what type of car is so expensive that they are cars, they are vehicles, right? But by the time you now buy something you cannot maintain at the end of the day, right? Is either by the time that vehicle is grounded because of you not be able to fund the maintenance or whatever, right? It of course means that you have to park the car, and by the time you park it, then you now be struggling to look for another money to buy a new vehicle. So you have to, it is advisable anytime. Civil servants, we always, spend within our pocket. Not, you don't look at someone. The same thing governments should do. Then I learned that when one of my the then permanent secretary, Mr. Fawole, advised the government that don't embark on this huge, gigantic project. Why not renovate this? Why not renovate that? But it wasn't taken. That advice was not. That
was like a technical advice.
A technical advice from an education officer then, right? Those gigantic, they are there now. Where we in some places we use over 200 million for maintenance.
But the intention was to,
it's just one school, over 200 million was spent on maintenance.
And many schools
actually. And some are crying for maintenance till as I'm speaking with you. Yeah.
But the intention was to open up the state, to give the state an opportunity of enjoying world-class facilities. That was the intention.
World-class facility can also be, enjoyed, with our own facilities on ground. If renovated to that, it's not only when we build, very high, high-rising buildings or whatever that you can. But if the state is able to afford it, the word afford, right? Then it is good. If not, then we should go and ensure that we live within our budget, because it will be extravagant in a way if you spend above what your means can afford you. That's it of course means that you have to go and borrow it. Maybe going from one financial institution to another, which is what we did then. But now, Mr. Governor, now look at it. So no, there is need to renovate schools, even including these mega schools. That most of the bills that we got from mega schools repair or renovation is always above 150-200 million.
That's almost the total cost of building the structure.
That is just it. No, most of those buildings, you know, were built with 3 billion and so on and above during Agbe-Shola's era. And what was the exchange rate then compared to now? So if, I mean, like Atauja School of Science there, if you had to go, if you had to, I mean, to say that we want to build that structure now, the government will cover out something close to 10 billion, if not more. Now look at other places. We have it at Vakule High School at the power line there. We have at Ilesha. We have at Iwo. We have at Ede. No, we have at Ikire. All around like that. So that's just it.
So talking about infrastructure, this is a huge responsibility.
It's very, very huge. This infrastructural aspect, very, very huge.
It is huge, but how achievable? Because like you said, it's a burning concern in the mind of Mr. Governor.
Now, it is. But, you know, education is not the only sector that we have in the state. You know, there are other sectors that government has to, so it has to be gradual.
Yes, it has to be gradual. But just like everybody is preaching the need to think outside the box against the background of the economic realities facing not only in Nigeria but even globally right now, is it wrong in the education sector, sir? Is it wrong to consider the possibility of something usually called public-private partnership arrangement? Is it wrong? Governments cannot do everything. If there are well-meaning indigenes and people and stakeholders that would not mind contributing, what is the ministry doing to advise the government towards this direction?
No, it's already stated in the education, in the agenda, of which education is one, that you know, government will engage public-private partners to, you know, assist education in the state. It is part of, and we are, you know, there are arrangements on ground that we are targeting now. We are seriously working on maybe 3 or 4 public-private partnership in education. In fact, there has been a lot. I don't want to mention the one that we are working on presently, right? But we have maybe about 4 that we are already working on. That in a few times, you know, few months now, they will be on board with the Ministry of Education. So it was already stated in the agenda of Mr. Governor for education. So, and when you look at it from that angle, you know, there is no economy that grows better when private people are not involved. Just take it. You know, look at the world economy. Look at the economy all over the world. Anywhere. They can't grow, or they don't grow without involvement of in major sectors, and education is
private stakeholders.
Yes. So we are involving private practitioners in our education, and it is clearly stated in Mr. Governor's agenda: public-private participation. You know.
Now, with these realities staring us at the face, are you hoping to assure people watching this morning that this is not going to impact negatively on the costs of accessing the education, especially in the public schools in the state? Like, or is there any likelihood that fees will go up? Even right now, we can see what is happening in the country. How immune is shown to any kind of hike in fees? We can see government has a huge responsibility to face in providing infrastructure, for instance, and other expenses are there too. So going forward,
let me mention here that you know, education cannot be completely free. That one is practically impossible. But no matter what, if anything is to be charged, it has to be reasonable. And that is, you can see, this government has not changed the ETL, Education Tax Levy, the schools are where the children are paying in our schools. And government felt that we should still limit that amount to what it is presently. And going forward, well, let me inform you that Osun is planning a summit. Osun State Education Summit 2023. You know, this 1st of August, yeah, to be coming up anytime maybe in the 3rd week. As I don't want to announce the date until we get the approval of Mr. Governor. Although we have been maybe doing publicity over this, right? But immediately we get the approval of Mr. Governor for the dates.
The summit will definitely be with the aim of engaging with all the stakeholders.
All stakeholders in education.
Okay.
If I am a babaloja, and you are a private person, you have your word in the school.
Yes.
You are a stakeholder. Yes. I am. Then an artisan or someone elsewhere, right, has a stake in the education. As a stakeholder, then you can come forward that this is what you want. You know, we look at things differently. So if you look at, the way you see things this way or that way, right? Just come and tell the whole world. So the thing will be brokers live and so on. So we now collate everything. It now form a kind of policy with the government. So you can see, and that is where I'm going, that government, apart from what is on ground, government is delving into new areas through the public. That come and tell us your mind. How do you want it to be? The education in the state, how do you want it to be? If you come and you tell the government through the committee, then we have called for submission of memoranda, and people have been submitting. They feel that this one should not is like this before, it should be like this. This one is good, sustain it. This one is is little bit shaky, then hold it this way. There are different types. The memoranda is written in such a way that you have introduction, the body of your explanation, then your recommendation or suggestion to the government, and it has started to pay in into the ministry for the committee. So the committee has been meeting over weeks now since it was inaugurated. Until now, we don't have, we don't have resting hours.
Breathing space.
Yeah, breathing space. So we continue. The committee meets almost every day. Even if our physical meeting is limited to 3 days in a week, other 4 days is online.
Online. Yeah,
so we meet, we discuss, and whatever we have, we share it online with people. With people on that committee.
And still on the cost of education.
Yes.
Are you assuring that, unlike what we heard about, hiking fees for federal unity schools, are you assuring that that's not the case with state unity schools for now?
Federal is federal, state is state.
Okay.
Something like that policy for federal doesn't affect our own unity schools.
Okay.
Yes. And even let me even tell you that at this point, our unity schools in the state, they are maybe we call them model schools, that is controlled by the Ministry of Education, 13 or 14 of them, right? Some are unity schools, and some are maybe School of Sciences, so to say. But from time, or let me say, I as an education officer, I started my career at Unity School Ikere, and it was full boarding house system then. But now, during Aregbesola, that policy was changed. People are now, calling for government to go back to boarding house system. Well, practically, there is no boarding house system. So we are looking at that. People are submitting memoranda based on that too. So government will look at it, and then we make recommendations to government. Maybe at the end of the day, if it's approved, then it of course be that our now coming back to fees. Now, fees payable is usually determined on dictates of the economy at any particular point in time. Because if you put a student in a boarding house system, you have to feed him, you have to do a lot of things. There will be cleaners, there will be gardeners, there will be this, there will be that. So all those costs will be put together and then share the amount among the population in that school that is affordable. Or it may be determined at the Ministry of Education that no, this is the possible sum, but at least it varies little by little from one unity school to the other, depending on the condition. So, presently, boarding house fees, there is no boarding, so we don't worry about that boarding. What they presently pay is education trust levy across the state. By the students. So anything short of that or anything other than that, no.
What about state tertiary institutions? Any hiking fees in plan?
No, there is no hiking. In fees in plan in any of our tertiary institutions.
Okay,
nothing.
All right. Now let's quickly touch on standard of education. Osun in the past had a very good reputation. But we all know that dropped. It might be a huge task for your tenure in office for the ministry. But apart from the summit you mentioned, how are you trying to look into the issue of the standard of education delivery?
Tackling this question will be a little bit technical because you have to look at certain factors that are responsible for that. But what I want to say is this: if there is a government policy now, before you feel the effect of that policy, it may be maybe after 4 or 5 years. Just take it. So it of course means that whatever we are feeling now, that we are down is effect of past 4 or 5 years policy on education. Are you with me?
Yes.
So that is what it means. If if any policy is fabricated now or is thrown out into the public space, you cannot say that it is the present government, but it's only government inherits liabilities.
Yes.
That is why now we are another factor is this: we have been in classrooms before. Even if you are the best students, you know how to do but when it comes to position, at times you may fall to number 5 or number 6 or number 10 in your class, right? Maybe it may be due to some reasons. It may be good at mathematics, may be good in English, may be good
psychological,
at that.
It may be emotional.
So, but you just, by the time they compute your this thing, why is so person who was this thing? That happens, and that was why Osun State, to me, has the potential to be great educationally, and we have been great, and we
can be great again.
Yeah, we'll be great again.
Now,
and how do we do it?
Okay.
Now, the education committee, of which I'm the secretary, the summit, of which I'm the secretary, we are looking at some areas through which, the education in the state, will be propelled into higher heights. And I believe that by the time we achieve that, right, very soon, through maybe some of because most of the people that were put together were so vast in in education. It's either they have been class teachers before or they are educationists, one way or the other, right? The way
there's a school before our time is up. There is a school of thought that originated from the state. years ago.
Yes.
That education delivery is at its best when it is done through the mother tongue, through the use of mother tongue.
Yes.
We can see even at the House of Assembly, the legislature arm of the government in Lagos State, the House of Assembly insisted on the use of mother tongue.
Yes.
Now, it was part of the spirit of that campaign, let's call it campaign,
yes,
that the House of Assembly decided to do that. And Mr. Speaker in our show said something like that recently.
Yes.
So now, is it not a possibility as a way of going back to the drawing board to re-examine that proposal?
Oh, this thing is another fantastic question. You know, fantastic in the sense that deliberation is ongoing. Because I wish to refer to a meeting attended by the ministry recently at Ibadan, Dawn Commission, Development Agenda of Western Nigeria, Development Agenda for Western Nigeria, right? Dawn Commission in Cocoa House in Ibadan. This, what you just said, is the basis of the attendance there. That how can we use Yoruba to teach in all, to teach students all subjects. So we are looking at that, so that we now prepare a Yoruba curriculum for all the subjects.
For all the subjects.
For all the subjects. You know, this we all know and we are all aware. In England, they use English. In China, they use Chinese. In Russia, they use in France, they use French. Their language. But it's only here in Nigeria, being what it is, you know. I mean, is, you know, our lingua franca, right, which is English language and French, right, is such that, you know, it is, it's limiting us.
It's quite interesting that the world powers are putting more attention on teaching Yoruba now. We see Nigerians migrating now to teach Yoruba.
A professor recently said, Professor Alamo RM recently said that unless we go back to use our mother tongue to teach our students, our students in schools,
we may never get it right.
We may never get it right. Look, and all these things are possible. In chemistry, it's possible. In physics, it is possible.
That one usually confuses us. That how would you teach in biology, for instance? How would you teach the parts of the human anatomy?
No, human anatomy. Virtually anything inside us or outside of that doesn't have a Yoruba name. If you cut off kidney, it's kidney. If you talk of intestine, it's ifun, right? If you talk of liver, it is edo.
And the students relate better with all the students.
And you have the nose, imu, then the eye is oju. We have the Yoruba name, and we can dig it out wherever it is difficult.
Your background is physics. Velocity, what would you use?
Velocity is a resistor now.
I like that. I like that.
That is the mo fi kun acceleration, right? As you go to mo fi dínkù àti as mo fi lékún oníjẹ acceleration. Yeah. So friction mo rìn lọ nti jẹ́ kéèyàn tí a bá ti rìn o torí pé kíní kan bẹ láàrin ẹsẹ̀ wa sílẹ̀ lẹ̀ ló jẹ́ kí àpamọ́ra bàtà tá a wọ̀ àti lẹ́lẹ̀ kó so mọ́ra wọn. Bàtà bá ìṣàpèjú because for you to now define friction as a kind of this thing force that inhibits movement or so on, it's difficult for some students to understand. But by the time you tell them in Yoruba, they can easily grasp it instantly. Because friction, kíni kaba ìbò ṣe rí ni alédèkù tẹ́ bá da epo sílẹ̀ lẹ́ àbómi yóò reduce interaction láàrin surfaces, àárín bàtà àti lẹ́lẹ̀ ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́kọ́ lẹ́lẹ̀ ò kí alẹ́ nìkan kọ́ tẹ̀ tó bá tẹ̀ ń bọ̀ bá yọ̀ yóò mọ̀ pé nǹkan tó ga àwọn sọ fún wa nìyí.
So it's wrong to assume that terms like velocity and all these things. No, I hope this conversation will be part of the summit that is coming up.
Yes, you're using Yoruba. For our curriculum, will be part of it.
Okay, very quickly. Holiday is coming.
Yes.
How do you address parents? I mean, kind of advice to parents in preparation for the, of course, general advice to parents.
My advice to parents is that during these holidays, they should engage their works. Not only academic engagement, they should also engage them at home. Give them what they should do at home. Yeah, it's important. You know, the reason is that home training is very, very important. It's not a common law lesson, all these things that we all. No, it's not only that.
It's not about academic. Okay.
You know, discipline. That is part of. That's another thing that we are looking at in this committee, right? Because when a child lacks discipline, there is he cannot go far in life.
That's a strong one. That's a strong one.
He cannot go far in life. Yes.
And a very, very strong.
So, and instilling discipline in our wards, start from the parents.
Yes.
I think you get it.
And the holiday time provides that opportunity.
Provide that opportunity. The children will be with the parents for 6 good. Some parents, because they want to go to market, they want to go to their business places. You say, oh my lesson, all these things. Even if you are going anywhere, as long as your child can assist you, if you are going to farm, take your child there. He or she will have that experience, and so on and so forth.
There is still much more to discuss with my permanent secretary, but time will not permit for now. Of course, I would have loved going to innovative education and all those things, but at least these ones we've taught this morning, they are quite very, very insightful, enlightening. That's good. Yes, it's been said that holidays are here. This is not the time to start pushing. Schools want to make money. Schools will always say, bring your child for summer schools. They want to make money. We can't blame them. But Permanent Secretary has said it, that we should focus more on the home school, allowing our children to spend time with us during the holiday. This is a time for us to play our part as parents. For discipline is key, is the cocoa, as it is said, in building a well-formed human being. Special thanks to especially you out there for tuning into A.M Cafe on OSBC TV this morning. I would really want to appreciate, thankfully again, our Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, that's Mr. Adekilekun Jimo. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I hope you will not forget to carry media along in the summit. It's very important. The public needs to know what you're trying to do.
Our information officer is here.
Okay.
She has been, been up and down.
That's
great. Whatever, a little announcement that we have made.
Yes.
And then the media is, will take a very important role.
Exactly.
Yes, at the summit.
So thank you.
No doubt about that.
Thank you so much for, despite your very tight schedule, for making it down here. Special thanks to the contributors behind the scene at the MCR, VTR, the producer Olushola Ogunle, really appreciate you. And executive producer Lasukomi Oyibaya. Tomorrow is another day on AM Cafe. Make it a day with us. Till then, my name is Benga Faminu. Wishing you once again Happy New Month. Goodbye and God bless.